Girls are going to want to fight me after this. Y'all not going to like this, but I have to say it. We have to stop looking for a good time and look for a good man. I'm not saying don't focus on what a man can do for you. Focus on it. But stop settling for just that.
What up, dude? This your boy Peanut, the people's nut, man, the practitioner of life, giving helpful advice, and we back with another one on the backs of all this stuff that's been going on with Anthony Edwards and his baby mama and her releasing the video. I'm gonna do a video on that later about how she said she can't help that she got a rich baby daddy, but she's not even taking into consideration the effects that she's going to have on her child, because she chose a man based off his status and his wealth versus is he going to be a positive male role model in her kid's life. Like, she's not thinking about the abandonment issues that little girl is going to face growing up, knowing that her father did not even want to be in her life. We need to touch on this subject, and I hope that through enough men making enough noise and enough good women also making enough noise, that women start making a better choice of picking for their children and not being selfish and just thinking about what their outcomes that they want. And women stop being selfish and only thinking about what they want, that I want a baby, and they're looking at these babies as accessories, not as full-grown humans, as autonomous beings that one day will grow up to be humans in the world. Like, none of these women that just have children or think that they can raise kids on their own ever take this into consideration, that you essentially are affecting that little kid's life by not choosing a good partner to mate with and to grow with. But like the clip that I use as the intro to open up all of this, there has to become a point where women start choosing good men instead of having a good time. My hopes and goals with this video is to highlight all the positive effects that having a male role model, a good father figure, will have in a kid's life. And women start taking it more serious about who they choose to lay down with, who they choose to procreate with, and not just being, I was young and I was dumb, I was turned, having a good time, having a baby with a narcissist or whoever else, as the young lady pointed out at the beginning of the video. You ladies need to start picking men for good character, not just a good time. Let's jump into it.
Absolutely precious, guys. But more importantly, did you know there's actually studies that show that parents who roughhouse play with their children when they're younger, actually those children grow up to be more confident and well-adjusted adults. Don't be afraid to engage in a little rough play with your kids. It's good for them.
A lot of women take for granted the things that men do in the household because they don't really consider it. Like, roughhousing is one of them. The way a man interacts with his son is going to be totally different than what a woman interacts with his son. And that roughhouse and that playing teaches that young male the difference between playful aggression and real aggression. And then a lot of these women wondering why they are raising or producing the type of men that they wouldn't even date. And then we have all these questions like, where are all the good men? Why no man want to be a masculine man? Because we're taking them out of the home. So many women are taking men out of the home. And let's not just bring up the argument of the deadbeat fathers that don't want to be there. Because again, you chose that man. You knew that man was a deadbeat before you laid down with him. You knew all of those things. And granted, yes, some men can be manipulative and do all of that. But that's where you need to put on your discernment hat and try to pick or vet men properly before you actually give him your body. This next clip is so wholesome, and I hope it warms your heart. It's going to highlight a father's relationship with his daughter. And so many men actually really cherish this. It's something as simple, just listening to music with their daughter does well for their self-esteem. So many women take for granted something as simple as a father being present, listening to music with his daughter, or just being present and showing her how a man loves a woman without having any sexual intentions. And this is what a lot of young girls be missing. So then they go out into the world trying to find love through sexual gratification. And we wonder why so many girls are promiscuous, so many girls push hedonism, so many girls get online showing their body, because they didn't get that attention from a male figure at a young age, a positive male figure or a positive attention. So they outsource it through the internet and through dating apps and through social media from a sexual lens versus like, here I am as a person. So many of you ladies are robbing your children of these beautiful moments because you have let misandry, feminists, and so many different ideologies warp your mind into believing that a kid will be fine without having a father in their home. So you don't really vet for a man's good character. You vet in all the superficial things. Is he 6 foot tall? Is he like? Granted, finances play a big part on what that man can provide for the family. But what if he's not present? Like you have all these things that you're looking for. You have all these things that you're asking of the man that's so superficial. Like, yes, he does need money to be able to provide a good life for him. But is he a good man? Is he going to be a present father? Is he going to be active? Is he going to sit in the car with his daughter and just listen to music? So many of you ladies are robbing your kids of these beautiful moments because you're only looking at superficial markers. And it's sad that you ladies bring a kid that did not ask to be here into terrible situations that you didn't even vet to make sure that the situations were good situations.
Do you guys want to be somebody's wife? What do you want to be?
Yeah, see, we talk about that all the time on the show. Sometimes I don't really know if I necessarily want to get married.
Do you want to have kids?
I do want to have kids, but I'm not sure if I want to get married.
But do you have to find the right person to have the baby?
I do think I have to find the right person to have a kid, but I also feel like I'm in a position where I'm doing things for my own, so I would completely be okay with having to take on that responsibility by myself as far as financial, if I have to.
I don't think that's okay.
Ooh, I don't think it's okay neither, but I feel like it's a reality of like the generation that we live in, because I just feel like that's how most of these are. I do.
No, those are the you going after.
That part right there. Too many women think raising a kid is just financial. That's why they be so comfortable with sleeping with any man that has money so he can pay child support. When raising a child takes way more than just finances. Finances is a small part about raising a kid, to being able to buy them clothes formula, send them to private schools, pay for extracurricular activities after school and all that other stuff. That's just a small portion of raising a well-functioning, well-rounded, healthy child. So many women have this insidious idea that as long as I'm straight and I got my career, I could do whatever and my kid gonna be good. Not really considering all that goes into raising children, raising healthy children, and raising healthy members of society. It's going to be way more than just finances. And having a father present, a good man, a good positive role model is key. So many women, especially in the West, in America, they have this idea that as long as I got my money, as long as he paying child support, or as long as whatever, I can do this on my own. And like she said in that clip, that's not good. That's not a good way of thinking. Like your way you're thinking is warped. And that because women think like that, they don't really consider the type of men that they choose to sleep with. As long as this man got swag, as long as this man got some motion, as long as all of this other stuff, that's all they care about, because they know that they good on their end, so they can take care of the kid financially. Sad. I'm gonna have to mute the next clip due to copyright issues of the music playing in the background. But I want you ladies to really see what it is to be a protective father, and how it actually affects us, and how men actually really do have feelings. And the feeling of being there for your child, it's a beautiful thing. And just look at these fathers as they're getting their daughter's ears pierced for the first time. I'm not going to talk about that because that seemed like torture, that you piercing your kid's ear that young. Like, you should probably wait till they're old enough to make the decision on their own, like 16, 18. But I get it, girls, whatever. But I'm going to have to mute the next clip. So let's jump into it, man.
father that's a narcissist? And you love your baby? I don't even know what narcissists mean, but maybe you the narcissist, sis, because you want a baby more than you want to be good to that baby. You think a baby is an aesthetic? You think a baby is a companion, best friend? No, you supposed to do what's best for that child, and you can't if you picking the wrong baby daddy. And then the girls that say, oh, I don't even need him. I'll take care of my baby myself. Are you thinking about the abandonment issues this child is going to grow up with? The trauma that you are going to cause? You traumatized yourself. That's why you even said some stupid shit like that. Yes, he chose to come in you, but you chose to keep it. You could have said, put on a condom. I know that I date niggas that ain't shit. I can do that to myself, but I would never give my child an ain't shit daddy and act like he's the problem. Moral of the story is, men ain't perfect, but ladies, a lot of y'all questionable too. Especially the girl Aisha going through that thing. That man said it clearly in the text. And you said, what?
I done seen this on Twitter and TikTok so many times that women be like, I didn't choose my baby daddy. Like, literally, you did. You chose to lay down with that man at that moment to have a kid with him. So like she said, and some lady said this a long time, you can't call yourself a good mother until you actually pick a good partner. That's a sign of being a good mother, that you chose a good partner to partner with, to have children with, so you can both be there to ensure that that kid gets the best out of life. But so many women have this selfish outlook, and they do is like they're traumatized or whatever trauma that they didn't heal. They're looking at this kid as a baby doll, an accessory, somebody that's going to always love me, somebody like, and then they don't understand that all of that, you may have good intentions, but you're causing so much trauma in that kid life that you're passing along because you didn't heal yourself, young lady. So that's why you was able to just lay down with this man that didn't want that baby with you and still have that baby because your trauma is not healed.
Ó, olha lá no espelho, tá vendo lá no espelho, papai tirando a barba, ó? Papai tá tirando a barba do Dudu. A gente tira o sabão, bate assim. Vamos tirar o bigodinho. Aí, cabecinha, isso, cabecinha pra trás, cabecinha. Assim, ó. Isso. Aí, tem mais barba, tem barba, tem lá no espelho, tem barba, ó. Vira pro meu lado aqui agora. Isso, olha lá, olha no espelho, pra cá, ó. Vamos lá. Isso, sabe, a gente tira o sabão. Isso. Agora peraí, vamos fazer vamos tirar. Cabecinha pra trás. Cabecinha pra trás. Ó, tem mais ainda, cabecinha pra trás. Cabecinha pra trás. Olha lá, isso, assim, ó. Aí, agora falta só a gente lavar o rosto. Vai tirar o restinho do sabão, tá lá. Assim, e assim, vai misturar. Vamos secar o rostinho. Agora dá uma olhada lá e dá um sorriso. Ficou bonito? Ficou bonito de passar a mão pra sentir a barba lisinha. Passa a mão. Passa a mão pra sentir. Tá lisinho? Tá, né? Tá. Faz um beleza ali pra câmera. Aqui, ó, na câmera aqui, ó. Aí.
That was so wholesome. Shaving your son with a spoon. But he's also learning lessons that's going to carry him into manhood. And this is why so many young men are looking to the internet for male guidance when they shouldn't be. This should be the male in their home. That's why you have the rise of Andrew Tate. That's why you have the show Adolescent preaching what it's preaching, because so many young males are starving for a masculine presence in the home to where they can learn these lessons from their father, not the internet. But so many selfish women break up their homes, or they choose wrong, and they like, I don't want to be with this man. I was unhappy and all this other stuff. I'm going to do a video later on about a woman that was with her husband for 19 years, but she just wanted to go on the streets and be a thought, so she blew it all up. Like, so many women are taking the selfish route of doing things and damaging their children because they're not thinking about anything. That saying that a lot of people say, a man would sacrifice his happiness for his family. A woman would sacrifice her family for her happiness. And this reigns to be true in so many cases that we're seeing on the internet, that these women are blowing up their families all because of some said happiness that they are not fulfilled with. But I'd like to hear from y'all. Do you think that we're ever going to lower the rate of fatherless homes in America? Do you think that more women are going to become wiser about picking good partners to partner with, to pair, to have children with? Or is this just how the future is going to be? Y'all let me know down below. This your boy Peanut, the People's Nut. Until next time. Peace.
It's a loud pack.